Hello and welcome to the Gonna Vibe. Arsenal nil, Liverpool nil. Interesting game. We pretty much knew from the get-go when pre-match interviews were taken what Slot wanted from his team. Basically, soak up the pressure and hit Arsenal with a counter. They have pacey players, and getting Frimpong there totally made sense. Is it point gain or opportunity missed? Arsenal still extend the lead with the draw to 6 points. On paper, that definitely looks solid, but I feel it's a missed chance to go 8 points clear of Man City and Aston Villa. The January transfer window, of course, both Aston Villa and Man City will try to boost their chances, get some good players so that they can boost their sides. But it was a weekend Liverpool side, no Etikite, and they had some players missing at the back. Even in the forward lines. It was interesting to see who they played up front. They thought we got Capco, but Words played along with Sabosla in front. And they at times played six at the back with both Gakpo and Frimpong tuck in into the back four, literally giving us no space. How much of the result is psychology and whether it really matters at this stage of the season? We have 17 more games left. That's a lot of time to decide the season. Anything can happen. Hopefully, Arsenal will go back to a winning run and we get more points than Man City. First half we created some control without any cutting us chances. I thought Liverpool initially played well, but we started dominating position and territory early on. And Liverpool, of course, wanted to set deep, not give any gap in the defense and absorb the pressure as well as they could. The real question is why couldn't Arsenal turn dominance into clear-cut chances? We're seeing these low back blocks consistently now, but we have not been able to dominate these. We have been dominating territory, but not really creating a lot of chances. Saka, I thought, was really impressive. Was able to get clear of Kirkes multiple times. Got the ball in the 6 yard box as well, and there was no one there for the cutback. So some of the chances that both Saka and Timber were created. There was one really good chance that Rice to flash the ball across the goal. But again, no one was there in the striker's position. 8 touches in the entire 60 odd minutes that Gyökeres was the lowest in for both sides, and shows how little he's providing as far as his touch map is concerned. Which I don't think it is as he doesn't really contributes towards the creation part, but contribution is should be towards to be around the 6 yard box and be available to when there are chances created. He wasn't there on some of the chances that we're trying to create either. Pretty much occupying the center halves, which in a way is good because that allows our fullbacks and our midfielders to gain that space. But again, with low blocks, having one player occupying one defender or two defenders doesn't really help. We really needed runners and the man-to-man marking that Liverpool had over Odegaard and Rice, and pretty much left our defenders get the ball. They knew that we are Saliba or Gabriel is not going to get forward to create chances. Although I thought Saliba was more adventurous late in the first half and also in the second half. Overall, were not able to shake uh, their man-to-man marking. Of course, the pitch and the weather conditions didn't help. It was really rain and ball was skidding all over the surface. But of course, the surface is equivalent for both Arsenal and Liverpool. Liverpool, of course, was defending pretty well. But for Arsenal, we really didn't see any slick passing, especially after the first. In fact, a couple of chances that Saka created and a chance that he had a shot on target. Big chance that either team had was Liverpool's. Conor Bradley passed through. Somehow it was able to get past our midfield, pass through to Frimpong, for which Saliba was able to cover, but pretty hastily gave it back to on rushing Raya, who had to clear first time. Pretty much passed it to Conor Bradley, and Bradley was able to chip Raya. Thankfully, it didn't hit the goal, but hit the crossbar, and we had a reprieve. That breakdown on communication nearly cost Aston because the way Liverpool was playing, if that goal went in, they would be playing in that formation pretty much the entire second half. But second half, I thought Liverpool came back really well. They started pressing our defense, mostly. So Oslai was more involved. Frimpong was getting past in KPA very easily. I thought Maestro's getting was pretty poor when he came in. I don't know if it was physical or he just lacked sharpness to get on the pitch and get going. But he just couldn't keep up with Frimpong at all. Second half, he struggled to keep hold of a ball, didn't win any second balls. I don't know if it was tactical, I don't know whether it was physical challenge that Liverpool was probably presenting, or it would be, I think it was probably mental fatigue because we saw Man City winning drawing yesterday, and everyone's minds, including fans, we knew that if we win, we'll be extending. Uh, and maybe that pressure got to Arsenal. We really didn't were able to compartmentalize the opportunity and play our own style. We really didn't uh, play well. We had to make some changes. 65 minutes in, Odegaard wasn't um, impressive at that point. Like I touched upon, Gao create a lot of chances except for a couple of chances late on, and Madueke had it just to it across the goal. No one again was there at the 6 yard box. Clearly, he was able to beat his marker, but instead of passing it to someone in the box, he tried to hit a shot which was easily collected by uh, by Harrison. There was one pass across from Saliba, which there was some space on the box, and it straight at Alisson again. But I feel, and I hope it is an offline. But there is definitely a concern in big games the way we play. I feel we give too much respect to our opposition. We saw a little bit against Man United, although we won the game. We let Man United dominate position and create chances. We saw the game against Man City where we dominated again position. We didn't really create a lot of open chances. Hopefully, again, we get back into groove. We play Portsmouth on the weekend, the FA Cup round, and games are coming thick and fast. So it's definitely going to be interesting how we fare. I wanted to talk about some match stats in the first half. We had six shots. I think it was two on target. It was Liverpool only three. We had 59% possession to Liverpool's 41 and 113 passes to Liverpool's 28 in the final third. The script pretty much switched in the second half where Liverpool had five shots and Arsenal only had three. 66% possession for Liverpool versus Arsenal's only 34, and Liverpool at 93 pass in the final third versus Arsenal's 45. I don't want to delve deep on the controversies that happened in the end where Martinelli and Conor tried to push Conor Bradley out when he was injured. Slot mentioned post game how he felt if Martinelli knew he wouldn't have done that, the extent of Bradley's injury. Things like that does happen. I feel there was a little bit of character assassination by the pundits post match for Martinelli. There should have been at least some benefit of that. But of course, we don't want any players to do that, considering how difficult it was for both teams. But yeah, in this day and age when time wasting is a thing and officials do not really do much, these kind of things can happen. But let's see how we play in the next upcoming games. We play four away games now. We'll have the first one coming up against Portsmouth. We have I think the next game we play is at Chelsea after that, another away game. Nottingham Forest over the weekend, and Inter Milan. So four away games before we play Manchester United. By then, maybe we'll have a new coach. Again, we have a couple more games until the end of this month. So it's going to be a packed schedule. Hopefully, we see some rotation in the next game against Portsmouth in the FA Cup round. But we'll talk then, and then come on, you guys.